I heard Patrick Bet David say this following line. It made me like question. He said, "I will never get married again. I'm only getting married once. If it works out, he's like, it should work out. But if for whatever reason it stops working out, I tell you, I will never get married again."
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, if this was, if something happened, whether I died or whether like something just catastrophic happened that just blew up our marriage, I cheat on you, something happens, and you just
wind that up. No, there's no you cheat on me. That will be that will be what kills you.
It's one and the same.
The same, 'cause you are the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Would you get married again?
No.
No? You done?
You know what's funny that you're asking this? I just watched a video that talked about how men marry right away because they need someone to care for them, right? When their significant other dies.
Care for
or
them.
divorces.
Yeah.
Where, yes.
They need a little, it's not just that.
Care could be all-inclusive.
Yeah,
all-inclusive
for sure.
care.
All-inclusive, yeah.
And then the women, they don't remarry. And I thought, and it was a high percent of women who don't remarry, especially if they're older. But I thought what was interesting about that is then I went to the comments because, I love the comments. That's where the truth is.
Yeah.
There was a high number of women who talked about some didn't remarry because like there was that was it. There was a true love. They knew it wasn't going to get any better than that. But so many women were like, I loved my husband, but I didn't want to do it again. I didn't want to have to go through.
It's hard.
It's very hard.
Marriage
is very
hard.
Marriage is hard.
It's not easy.
It is not easy. Personally, I have loved being married to you. Not always, but I know you feel
moments.
the same. There's been moments. No, I joke with that because I believe I look at you and I'm like, there's sometimes I'm like, I think it's weird that I married the guy that I met in third grade. But then like this morning or yesterday morning when we were walking, I was just like, we made a joke and we were laughing at something together. And I was like, I'm thankful that like this is the guy I married because I would have never thought that you're the person that's going to get me in life.
Yeah, so I guess that makes sense why you wouldn't marry, because it's just kind of like marrying second place. Why would you ever want to do that?
Toot your own horn.
That's all I heard right there. Was like, after you conquer Everest, why even climb another mountain?
I love the assurity of yourself.
It's like when you go to Great America and you
You
ride
start
the
the
biggest roller
scariest,
coaster,
yeah.
and then you're like,
Yeah.
I guess I can just go home.
Yeah. That's I think for me, when I think about you remarrying, I do have some specifications. Like I don't want her to be black.
Whoa.
You didn't know.
Really?
I've talked to you about this before.
Why?
I don't know. Because then I feel like it'd be more comparison. Like, oh, my last wife. Whereas if she was white, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
We're like way different. So, but I wanted you to wait a certain amount of time.
So you'd rather like if there was
Can I
like
just
like
be
the
honest? Let me
if
just
there was
be-
like the godliest of black women and like
Oh,
a
gosh,
mediocre white girl, you're like, please
no,
go with the mediocre white.
No, because here's the truth. Because I think whoever you remarry is going to be better than me. That's actually the truth.
Oh, you
yes,
think? Why?
I think because, and so if she's black, it's going to be like, why should I just started here first? I don't know, because I think
lady.
that is, and I don't want my kids to like, I want her to love my kids so much, but I don't want them to be like, you're better than our first mom.
Well, I mean, are you going to ask me what I do?
Oh, I think I know what you would do.
What would I do?
Because you've said it before, is that you wouldn't if our kids were younger.
Yeah, I would not. I mean, you can answer for me. Are you going to answer for me, or you want to ask me?
Well, you say that you wouldn't. Okay? Let me ask Eric. Eric, if I can, let me finish asking my question. I personally don't know if I remarry at this age. Like I'm 40, and that's pretty young. I think it would be one. I don't trust strangers.
Yeah.
You want me to go on an app And you want me
Well,
to go
if you had
into
to
a restaurant?
let me put it this way. Let's say you had to remarry. Are you?
Why would I have to remarry? Somebody forcing a
Because
gun in
it's
my
a
head?
game we're playing. It's a game we're playing where you have to.
I don't
Are
like
you
your
telling me
games.
your first option is going to be to go to an app?
Well, no.
You just said it. You said you're telling me I got to go on an app.
Okay, well, that's how people do it. But my point is, it's going to have to be a stranger, most likely.
But
Because
why?
where are all the single Christian men? I don't even know. Where are y'all? I got some women. Let me just shout out to the Christian men. Can you just send us a message, a comment? If you know a single man, send me his picture. I got some friends. I got some friends that I need to get a man. Okay?
Okay.
This is a plug. Shameless plug, by the way. Second
But
of all,
also, you're not really in the place where you're going, like, if you knew a lot of single men in a
where
way
are
that,
they? I know a lot of single women. Where are the men at?
well, because you're a woman.
Do you know a lot of single men?
I don't know anybody. You're talking. I have like
Yes,
I have
me.
you as a friend, and I have
You have friends.
I have 6 single men, but you got to give them some time. Currently, they're
And most
between
of
the
them
ages of
are
12
related
and
to
1.
me. Oh.
So give them
The kids in
give them
our
about 10 to 20 years,
you're
and then they'll
funny.
be ready.
but in all seriousness, I don't like trust strangers. I don't trust anybody. You're the first person that I had, like, besides my parents, but like that I had trust in, and I was willing to sleep next to and not think you might murder me in my sleep.
What if I'm just playing the long game?
I could take you.
Just luring you in. What if it was that way, and then I realized you sleep with one eye open? So
I
I'm
do.
like, I just
That's
can't
why I
do
do.
it.
That's why I do. Keep you on your toes. But
Are you awake? Are you sleeping? I don't know. That eye's moving.
you should find a picture of that. It's creepy. But I think I would have a really hard time. And sometimes I'm like, we've had to come through a lot, you guys. And I would have a hard time going, even like, can we just put this out there? We're just exposing it all. Like, even sex, like, that was something that was a struggle for me personally because of how I grew up.
I was okay.
So to have to go back through that with somebody else would be.
And we're also sharing. Clearly, we're sharing that we are one and done. We're the only people that we've ever had
sex with somebody else. So
this has been it for me.
Yeah, which
is awesome. I think there's so many benefits to it.
Some people would probably not say that.
Yeah, but I'd say compare lives. I don't know. I think there's so much security and stability.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do it any other way.
Yeah. Oh no.
I mean, I'm sure there are points in my life where I wish I could do it the other way. I'm
Wait,
sure when I
what?
was like a young boy, just like
preemie.
wishing, right?
Oh, okay.
Because you're just like you see that's the way of the world.
Oh yeah, and we've had people say, "Oh, I could never get used to one penis." Like, let's just be not to be vulgar, but like that's right. Like that's or one woman, whatever. I don't think like that. So, but that's thankfully the Lord.
Yeah, you'd have to do that all over again.
Oh, I don't. That part alone is terrifying. So I think for me, and I just Eric, like, you get me. It is as much as I sometimes want to give you a hard time for just not getting me. I don't think I would have that connection with someone else. And I do remember when I was going through depression, thinking like, oh, if I just married someone else, like if I just and I don't tell you this, but since we're airing all these things, there's been a couple times that men have hit on me because I don't wear my wedding ring.
There's been a couple times that girls have hit on me.
In front of me. Like me too. Like the girl who handed you a rose and the other girl who complimented your eyes.
And then there was some gay guys too who
you get that a lot.
Remember that? That was so weird.
That's funny. But I say that because I remember during depression when I felt like if I just went and had an affair, like that would just fix all of my, because you're the problem. But that was the enemy and the lie. Oh my goodness. Thank the Lord that I didn't listen to that.
I think that's, keep going.
But my point being is like, even then, I just like, I can't imagine redoing all of this hard with someone else. And I think that's why so many women when they get divorced, they take their time, or they just don't. They don't marry again because it is a lot of hard work. And there are so many people who just date and they're like, I don't want the hassle of a wife. Marriage is like, that's just institutionalized thinking and it's a piece of paper. But marriage is really beautiful. I have grown so much like that. Like the Lord sanctified me so much faster through marriage, but I have grown so much more than had I been single personally. Some people in singleness become their best version of themselves. Yeah. I don't think I would. And I swore I'd never get married. I swore I'd never have children. And those two things have been the biggest blessings of my life. I look at my life and I am one of the richest people in the world because of who I married and the children that came out of that. And so, I guess, with that being said, are you going to remarry when there is no more me?
I look at the ages of our kids and think that it would not be good for them to have a new mom.
Now, you say that, and then sometimes you're like, hey, come take care of these kids.
I guess somebody could come take care of the kids, but not have to be married to them, right? But the idea, I guess, I'd say if it was coming out of cancer and like you had actually passed, I would not introduce a new mom to our kids. That would be too hard for them, especially the ages that they are. I mean, we have a 12-year-old, a 10-year-old, and an 8-year-old. They should not have to feel like they need to find. They should not have to be put in a position where they have to see somebody else's mom. If they were younger, like had you got cancer when they were, between 1 and 4, that might be actually the best thing for them. Have a mom, you know what I'm saying?
Someone help this
like
man.
Someone who can actually be that nurturer, to care for them, especially during those years. But where they're going to now, they're going to be angry. And if I was like, hey, I also, here's somebody who's going to come and be like mom in the house, like that would be hard for everybody involved. Now, if 10 years down the road, like when they're, in their 20s, and then I think then I could see getting married again. I'd be a seasoned individual at that point in time. Would I be in my mid 50s, mid 50s to nearly 60, and then you're just like, they don't have to look and say that's my mom. They're grown, they're independent, like. It can just be kind of a natural, like, hey, that's dad's wife. It's not my mom. Yeah. My mom and my dad loved my mom, and it didn't turn out how we should. Because I think introducing that, you see people, it's hard enough. It's hard enough to raise kids, but then you're going to have to try to navigate like a brand new relationship in the midst of trying to get kids through adolescence and into adulthood.
And some people can do it.
Some people can, but I just think that it introduces unnecessary drama to a situation where at this point, you guys just lost your mom. It's about you right now. It's not about me getting my feels on.
But some people are going to say, but Eric, you deserve to be happy too.
But happiness, I deserve... and who's to say I can't be happy just finding the ultimate pleasure in serving my children, right? Why can't that be the thing that makes me happy for a season? Say, it's not about what Eric wants. It's about helping my kids get to be the best versions of themselves, especially because they just had to endure the hardest situation, one of the hardest situations that a kid can have to endure. losing their mom, and why?
What a depressing topic.
Well, I just think it. I brought it up.
Yeah, I know. It's depressing. Well, here's what I will say. In all honesty, yes.
like, would I remarry if you divorced me? Like, and because you went like, right? I don't know.
Yes, you would.
I don't
Let's
know.
just be real.
That one's
Whether I'm
different.
done or divorcing, the man is remarrying because
I
the
think
man
at some point, for
needs
sure.
some help. The man needs some help. And let me just be clear.
I'll just go I'll just see if my mom will move in. I give her own room. Hey, Ma. You weren't planning on caring for any more kids, but do your son a solid. Help me with these grandbabies.
Well, here's
Remember when we lived on Waterfall?
Yes.
And our neighbors and the neighbors next door were
Yes.
family. It was
Yes.
a dad whose wife had passed, who was raising 2 girls, and his parents moved next door.
Yeah. Not all family loves you that much.
But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, to
That's
me,
an ideal situation.
that's what it should be.
Yeah.
Like, the kids were a little bit older. They had to be between 10 and 12,
Yeah.
right? Somewhere in there, 2 girls between 8 and 12. And he said, I got my parents here. They're going to help us get through this next stage. And
Wouldn't
that's,
that
to
be
me, what it
something?
should be.
If you got divorced, your parents came and like helped you through life, if you person died, like, and people do have that in capacities, and it doesn't require divorce or death, but like it is nice when you can have that extra support. But marriage is a lot of work, and I think men and women are going to be different in this way because we're designed differently. I think that when I got cancer, I learned really that you are going to have to remarry. Even though I had some requirements prior, I just want my kids. I realize like how important I am to the family. And that might sound silly, but it was like all the organization went out the window. It was a hot mess. It was like nothing stayed clean. And then the kids felt like they were, they weren't being nurtured in the way, because you're just trying to survive, right, and take care of. But it was like you were trying to do all of the things
on jobs that I am not good at,
Yeah.
nor have I ever done before.
right. And so it was important that you learn them. Okay, right. That showed us that showed you really, because I've been asking like you to help in these ways for a long time. But I think we also have these gender roles from society that kind of just came in and into our marriage and our home, and those all had to just break. Because I literally could not do anything but survive and try to live. And then you had to know their doctors. You had to know all of the things that you should have already known. I think it's helpful for you to have someone to share that with, that the kids can have their hair done and they can, just have their boo-boos kissed and all these things, because I think that's the magic of a woman. That's a mother's touch. And I know my kids love me. And I know that I will always be their mom. Yeah. That no one, no matter how good she is,
no one's gonna
replace
no one's gonna
me.
take that spot.
But I want them to be cared for and loved by a woman, because I think the right woman will become so important to them and help them through moments. And if I know you, like I think I do, and you have to remarry for whatever reason, I know you're going to pick someone who's going to make sure my kids know how much I love them and how proud of them I will always be. And that to me means everything. So I hope that we get to grow old together.
I know we will. I know we will.
But if I'm not able to be there, I guess she can be black if you want her to be.
'Cause you kept me every time I mess it up, and everybody says that things are bound to change, but I hope they stay the same, 'cause you are the best thing that's ever happened to me.